In the distance you can see the Sugarloaf Islands and Port Taranaki.
¿Qué me está pasando a mí? Tú me estás tentando a mí y yo aquí pensando en ti. Eso es lo que a ti te entiende. Junto te la paso aquí pendiente. Cuando yo te toco terminas temblando. De este cuerpo me dejas deseando.
Mauri ore te whānau nau mai, hoki mai, welcome back to the channel. Where are we off to today,
Off around the mountain, top on that Parihaka. Might cruise around and go to the old animal.
Oh, yeah.
He was at Kaupukunu. They went home last night.
Cruisy. Beautiful day for it, so hopefully the traffic plays its part and doesn't do nothing stupid and we'll be alright. Couple of crashes this summer, eh? So, yeah. Be careful out there, whānau, if you're riding, stay safe wherever you're going. I think we're just waiting on Tombstone. And speak of the devil, here he is. There he is. So the crew's here, is us three are gonna roll out and enjoy the day. Cheer the brother.
Cheer my brother.
Well, alright, so there we go. If we're lucky, Tā Ruakere might be out at Parihaka, so yeah, Tā Ruakere might be out at Parihaka, so we might be able to get a bit of a kōrero out there while we're hanging around. Surely. So yeah, we might be able to go up to Pūrepo, get a bit of a kōrero up there, so we'll see, but I got to get him to, shorten it up. He likes to lengthen a 3-minute speech into about a 10-minute one, so we'll see if Matu is free. But yeah, we'll get out on the road.
Eso pide, todo cambió cuando los conocimos.
Hey Gino, you going dumb. Woof. Hey, let's go. Yeah. I'm going dumb. I'm trying to live it and stunt. Get anything that I want, whenever I want. It's okay to be broke, it's not okay to be a bum. Gotta move up, I never front. I keep it 100, do it for fun, man, I do it for fun. Tryna build something, no bricks. All I do is flip these beats, giving them smoke like weeds. All about the green like weed, and I want the blue like cheese. Spend a couple G's on my G's, spend 100 G's on my steeds. Trip my fans like fiends, gotta get them high and fixed. You know how I do this shit, still in the hood like bumps, itching my palm. Money is a bitch, I'ma make her come. She got me sprung, and I want me some motivation tied in my arm. I'm just glad to be alive another day under the sun. You can die young where I'm from, you can get lost where I'm from. Gotta be a boss where I'm from, hey, I'm going dumb, I'm going stupid. Music and drugs is the same, get them using. You wanna make a killing, then execute it. Wanna make $1 million, no excuses. I'm going dumb, I'm tryna live it and stunt. Get anything that I want, whenever I want. It's okay to be broke, it's not okay to be a bum. Gotta move up, I never front. I keep it 100, do it for fun, man, I do it for fun. If they went left, I ain't playing fair. Came from the bottom, I ain't staying here.
Called ice cream stop here in Wākura. Beautiful beach town. And see in the background? Yeah, nice as here. Good for a swim if you're passing through. Butler's Reef, that bar we normally stop at out here, is just up the road. Beach over here, beautiful, especially in summertime. We reckon New Year's it'll be packed as. Brother Nolza shouted us ice cream. Vibe. Check out, oh, they've even got a volleyball net set up. I don't know if you can see that. No, you just can't. And then there's the beach. In the distance you can see the Sugarloaf Islands and Port Taranaki, kind of. And then Uncle's out on the Fat Boy. He's taking Craig's Fat Boy for a run. You might remember this bike from the one me and my brother, Uncle Dallas and Uncle Gary went out to our Kennel pub. And then obviously the Chief and Noel on his tombstone. Alright, whānau, something a little bit different this time around. We're going to have an interview from my uncle talking to us about what Parihaka means. So this is an excerpt from a conversation I had with Tā Ruakere Hond out at Parihaka this day. So we're just going to play that in the background as we ride on out to Parihaka. So please, hopefully you guys enjoy this. It's a little bit of an educational sort of one, if you will. But anyways, Happy New Year te whānau, and thank you all for your support in 2024. And here's to more in 2025. Kia ora te whānau. So I've got Matua Ruakere here with me. He's agreed to jump on camera and give us a bit of a rundown of where we are and the significance of Parihaka here.
Kia ora mai Mauri. Me te kōrero nau mai ki roto Parihaka. Welcome to Parihaka. I've seen you come in on your bikes, going for a ride around the maunga, and it's important to recognise these local environments, the local sites of significance, and Parihaka is one of those. So coming here to the site where the Raukura was, one of the whare of Parihaka, of Te Whiti o Rongomai, and so this area here is where the community is. We've got about 35 homes. And different whānau. Usually in summer a lot more people come back and spend time with whānau during the holidays, but this for Parihaka we meet every month on the 18th, 19th. We meet and we talk about the legacy of tohu and te whiti, which is engaging with issues that are taking place in today's environment. So other than those days, we have our normal type of hui, tangihanga and the like, where we continue to, I suppose, provide support, provide a wāhi, a marae for our whānau. The main thing, I suppose, in terms of Parihaka at the moment is that we're in the midst of a whole lot of infrastructure development. So we've got a lot of diggers and that around the place, putting in new water lines, putting in electricity lines. For years and years there hasn't been any real investment in infrastructure, so people have just got by with what they have, but there are more and more people wanting to move back, but the infrastructure can't support having more houses on site. So this development is really important for our marae. Our marae now will have proper sewage systems or wastewater systems, because we have a high water table, and when we're flooding, a lot of our septic tanks overflow. So this infrastructure development is really critical, and looking forward to what Parihaka becomes with the whānau coming back and being a part of a lot of kaupapa that are going to be taking place on the Papakanga. There's a lot more opportunities, or will be a lot more opportunities for people to come and visit. At the moment it's quite difficult. We don't really have anything to offer other than us as a community. But for people who are tourists or people from other parts of the country who simply want to come and visit Parihaka, it's like just coming into a township. But in the future, I hope that there'll be an opportunity to be able to provide proper experience, a background of the historical context, but also about the future context of what the aspirations of Parihaka are going forward. So there's a lot more to be done, and we've really only just started down this track. We've got a lot of work to do to build our community back up again, and to create the right sort of employment so that whānau can move back with their children, and there's a livelihood here, right, as opposed to moving here and there isn't work, there isn't the ability to sustain a community.
Man. And are you able to briefly just touch on the significance that Parihaka hold for all of us here in Taranaki?
I suppose for Taranaki as a whole, well, in actual fact the whole country, Parihaka really began before Parihaka was here. So there was, when the war started in Waitara in 1860, in March, they very quickly, the government moved its troops and gunships off the coast of Warea and bombarded the community where Tohu and Te Whiti were based. So they had quite a thriving economic development taking place, their community based in Warea, and that was bombarded and then destroyed afterwards when troops came through and burned everything. They had hundreds and hundreds of acres of wheat. They focused in on growing wheat, but when all of that was destroyed, they moved and escaped to a place called Ngā Kumikumi. They were attacked there, even though they were simply they were growing food. That was their main focus. They were attacked there. They moved to Te Puru and Kekeua. They were attacked there. So then they moved to Waikoko. They were attacked there at the end of 1865. The war started in 1860, so between 1860 and 1865, they were moving to these different sites, trying to re-establish the sorts of developments that they had done in Warea. But when they came here to Parihaka at the beginning of 1866, end of 1865, after Waikoko was attacked, they came and they I think it's far enough inland and the type of terrain is very hilly. There's a lot of it's caused by volcanic collapses, and you get lots of hills all around the place, so it creates a natural barrier to troops and that were trying to find them. So they were able to remain in this area. So in 1866 they started with a community of probably around about 300 or 400 people, and then gradually it got the name of being a place which was a sanctuary where if you came here, because the war carried on in Taranaki for 21 years, even longer than that if you look at it beyond the actual physical war. But the last attack happened here in 1881 when they brought troops into Parihaka with a cannon. So that was the last sort of armed conflict. Even though no shots were fired, there was always that threat of violence in that way. So from 1866 through to 1881, Parihaka just got busy growing food. That was their main thing. They were about showing manaakitanga. And so for Taranaki as a whole, there's a lot of lessons to be learnt about that whole thing of being self-sufficient, about recognising what value you have in front of you, and rather than being reliant on outside, think about what you can do with the resources that you've got. They also advocated very strongly for non-violent resistance, and then also non-violent conflict resolution. So resolving conflict with by kōrero and reaching a form of consensus, which we've referred to as maungarongo. Peace founded in reaching an agreement between two parties that maybe have a conflict. So they were strong advocates of that. And even though they tried repeatedly to advocate for peace and they resisted against the land confiscation, so the 1.275 million acres that was confiscated from Taranaki, because they resisted against the war that the Crown came into this region. They still maintained that concept of peace through discussion, being open and welcoming people. So even when the troops came in, they came in with guns and soldiers, and they were welcomed as manuhiri. They weren't people weren't hiding away from them. They sent children out to play games in front of them. They sent women out to take them food, to show that they were going to treat them with respect and with manaakitanga. But of course that's not what happened, and with the troops put their cannon on top of the hill and said you've got 4 hours to leave, and no one left, even though the threat of the cannon going off. They stayed here, and so as a result the cannon didn't fire. It was a threat, but the cannon didn't fire. But then they loaded all the men up onto carts, took them away into prison down to the South Island, and left women, children and old people here in the community. And the whole community was run by troops. It was run by the government for 4 years.
True.
4 years under occupation, yeah. So active occupation. So you know, I see a lot of connections between what's taking place in places like Palestine, any places where there's a history of occupation, of control and domination. That's definitely what happened here in Parihaka, but it happened throughout the whole of Taranaki. It forced people out of land that they were trying to develop economically, which then usually culminated in war and fighting, because usually when Maori refused to accept the Crown taking of more land, then they automatically came under the threat of violence, and that usually escalated to actual violence.
That's crazy. I didn't realise it was so long, the occupation.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to understand what occupation is like. It's basically house arrest it's around about 50 acres, and they had a perimeter around not a fence, but you weren't allowed to go beyond that. If you left the community, then you weren't technically allowed back in, because you had to have no one was allowed into this community unless they had a permit sanctioned by the government through that whole time. And so if you left, like to go down to get kaimana, you couldn't go down to the sea to get kaimana, or go to the bush to get food or anything like that, because the moment you left, then it's likely that you wouldn't be allowed back in because you didn't have a permit. So basically people were kept here, and after about 4 months, then you had a really bad epidemic that took hold of the community, cellular erysipelas, which is flesh-eating disease, or hospital gangrene, which was explained to us as being when a person's immune system is really shot. That's why you get it in hospital. When your immune system is shot, then you get it starts attacking underneath the skin and eating away at your flesh, and so heaps of people died through that, and it's a pretty good indication of, one is being demoralized, two is starvation, and the other ones are the living conditions. They lived in conditions where the troops pulled down houses that they thought were too good or whatever, and if they decided, you weren't allowed to have more than 25 people meeting in any one location. That was the rules, and so you weren't allowed to gather together. You had to be in your own houses. And the one time that they defied that and still met on the 18th, as they did every month, 9 of the key buildings were pulled down as punishment. So there was a whole lot of things that took place throughout that period, and you could say it really did sort of demoralise Parihaka, but at the same time they held firm to those values. What happened though is, once they came back from prison, the whole of this area had been settled, and they usually gave land to soldiers who were some of the more aggressive soldiers, or the ones who were stationed here to keep an eye on Parihaka to make sure it didn't get out of control. I think realistically the government was most concerned that the other areas around the country would start learning from what Parihaka was doing and would start to use similar strategies. So they didn't want non-violent resistance, they wanted compliance. They wanted Maori to be labourers and not landowners. So the whole idea of Maori developing land economically was the exact opposite of what they were trying to establish, which was bring lots of settlers in. They knew that Taranaki was really fertile land, so they wanted to put settlers into the region, and then Māori would be labourers on that land for those settlers. And that's not the way Māori perceive their role in this country.
Yeah, well, that's true, because I mean, why would you want to give up the land that you're already, prosperous on, to then become just a worker on?
Yeah, and so when Māori refused to sell land, and they made an agreement that they would sell no more land, that's when the war started, because the government continued to work with certain individuals that they knew would have a gripe with someone, or they'd sort of divide and rule. And then they forced through the sale of Waitara, which is where virtually all of Te Aotearoa were based. Not all of Te Aotearoa, but the vast majority of Te Aotearoa were based in Waitara. And so they knew that by forcing through the sale of Waitara, it would cause the conflict that would culminate in war. And if they had war, well, then they'd use the Irish Rebellion Act of 1799. They used the same act Irish rebellion, which is anyone who's deemed to be in rebellion, even though you're just defending yourself from being attacked. You could have your land confiscated. So they won both ways. One is that they got rid of whatever economic development and collective action of Maori through the war, and then they also took the land as punishment, which is virtually the whole of Taranaki, really only little bits of areas, Honga Mormon and places like that, and then it took them many years before they handed back little bits of land back to Māori so that Māori could have somewhere at least to live. But even then they only received back small blocks of land, virtually impossible to really take off and develop economically.
By then, you know, urbanisation and colonisation processes have already occurred, so you're not really getting back all that you lost, even though the land packages aren't that large, but it's more so your connection to your space and place.
But you couldn't get access to any resource, like you couldn't get access to loans to be able to do things economically on the thing. You could work collectively on that, but then when non-Māori weren't buying your goods because you were outside of their circle of people that they were working with, then you really had to try and create your own economy among yourselves and set up your own business to set up overseas. But all of that takes economic investment to buy a ship and all these other things. But by breaking down the collective community action, you know, working together as collectives, by dividing people up into through the Māori Land Court. So with the establishment of what's called the Native Land Court, that time they put people onto blocks of land all around the place and sprinkled them around rather than into collective blocks, and said basically you have to be on your land. If you're not on your land, well then the Māori trustee can come along and take it and lease it out to a Pākehā in perpetuity at 5% of its unimproved value.
Wow.
So you had to be on your land, so that automatically spread people out rather than being collective. People of Parihaka were a little bit different. They didn't participate, and so many in Parihaka just didn't have any land. They didn't receive land, or they had land, but then because they didn't live on their land, then it was taken. It was under perpetual lease.
That's crazy. A lot of those leases still exist today, eh?
Absolutely, yeah. That's how Parineniki Waitotara is established. A lot of it comes through from those leasehold lands.
That's crazy. What about the 17th, 18th? Is that open for anyone to come?
Yeah, we're sort of going through a thing at the moment where initially it was the 18th, and then it became the 18th and the 19th. So Tawhiti's Day was on the 18th, and Tohu's Day was on the 19th. Traditionally people would come through on the 17th. In those days, it didn't drive around. It took them days, sometimes weeks, to travel through. If you were walking through from Auckland or wherever, or from Tūhoe, it took a lot of effort to get here. So you didn't want to come in. It was just one day and then go home again. So they came on the 17th, were there for the 18th and the 19th, and then left either on the 20th or on the evening of the 19th. And there were a whole lot of marae sprinkled all around the coast where were like stopovers, like motel stops. They were called wharepuni, eh? They were puni that people could stay when they were heading back home. But in recent times, it's a lot easier to get here, and it's a lot harder for people to be here for 2 days. People are working. And also, you know, the idea of bringing tohu and Tawhiti, the marae working together as a collective so that we all are in the same conversations at the same time, is becoming more and more of a priority. There are still some who hold the view that it's always been an 18th and a 19th, so we should stick to the 18th and the 19th. But I think pragmatics, for a lot of people, it's the pragmatics of just being able to be there for 2 days. Is a lot of commitment when you're working, and the ability to work together rather than one group does this on one day and then a different group does that. Or obviously a lot of people from one marae go and support the other marae, but it's like two separate operations. So we're sort of going through that at the moment as to what that looks like. With the infrastructure, because we wanted to maximise the amount of working days for the infrastructure, rather than take 2 days out, we decided to reduce it down to 1 day, so that they at least get 1 extra day where they can work and do the infrastructure, because normally when we have our rā, we don't have any work going on that day.
Yeah.
So over this last year, and it'll be going through to around about July, they say probably in July it'll be completed, we've been having just 1 day a month, and it's worked really well. During COVID it worked that way as well. We were able to just have 1 day rather than 2 days, and just with the local community. So to me the rā are significant because they allow people to come to Parihaka and talk about the legacy of tohu and te whiti. And when I say talk about it, it's not just like a history lesson, it's like what's going on in our lives, what's going on with the health system, what's going on with the education system, what's going on with our homes, what's going on with the environment, what's going on. All of these issues are all current issues, but we don't tend to engage with them in a really Māori way, from a strongly Māori perspective. We do. There are definitely some groups who do that, and that's fine, but this is an environment where you can bring those sorts of kaupapa here and we can talk about them. How does the concept of peace, non-violent conflict resolution, passive resistance or non-violent resistance, where does that fit in today's environment? And so we talk about a lot of things. We still have lots of disagreements or different views within our community. It's not like we're all one mind. So while the majority support the idea of resisting against or voicing opposition to things that are going on in Gaza, in Palestine, there are others that hold very, very different views. Others, it's not so much supporting Israel, but some of them have very spiritual views and say, we shouldn't be involved in politics, or the Bible said this or that. But we're still trying to work through how we engage with each other at all these different levels and reach decisions and are able to do something together as a collective. And I think in the time of tohu and te whiti, they were those people.
Right.
They were the ones who pulled together those conversations. They were the ones that said, well, okay, let's take our time on this issue and work through it. We don't tend to have the same level of leadership that when tohu and te whiti were here. We've got a totally different environment, different value system, and the way in which we live is completely different. But on the 18th and 19th, if people want to come along. On the 18th, this is up here at Te Paipai, we visitors, as long as they turn up before 10, usually I say if you can turn up around about 9:30, because sometimes the pōhiri's a little bit earlier, sometimes a little bit later if they're waiting for things, but just so you get here and it's not like get out of your car and quickly go straight on. You have the ability to sort of soak up what the environment is, and the other people that you're going on with, and then you get welcomed into the wharenui. In the morning everything is in Mauri, so all of the kōrero is all in reo, so really good for people who really want to engage with reo. And then we have a kai, usually a hākari at midday, and that's a significant sort of lifting of whatever heaviness is among people. And then after the kai, then we go back into the wharenui, and then it's open to whatever reo you want to speak. And the whole idea about the only in reo in the mornings is really just about putting priority around the reo of tohu and te whiti. The language that they spoke here in Parihaka was the reo Mauri. And it's about retaining some of those aspects of how a community can operate, and ensuring that reo Māori isn't lost from our community. Most people in Parihaka speak a reasonably good level of reo, so we all engage, and there's quite a few people come along and they engage as well. So when we in the afternoon we talk until basically when we finish, probably about 4 o'clock usually.
Oh, yeah.
And then people can sometimes stay the night, and we have a karakia at something like 6 or 7, depending on what time it's getting dark. And then we sometimes have a kōrero in the evening, depends on who's in the whare. And then the next morning at 8 o'clock the bell rings down on the other marae on Toroanui, and we go down and we go through the same sort of process again, except we start with breakfast. We all have breakfast together, and then after breakfast then everyone's welcomed into the wharenui, and then the wharenui, all that kōrero takes place, and then around about after the kai, the midday kai on Toroanui, then the visitors leave. If you can't make for the 2 days, then just coming along for the stay until the afternoon is a good way to engage in Parihaka. We prefer that people come in the morning so that we can acknowledge everyone who's come in. So coming in before, coming in 9:30 around then is a really good time to come. And then we can acknowledge you. You have the opportunity, if you've got reo, to be able to speak to that and say what you're there for and what you'd like to have discussed. And then we can have discussion about that in reo Mauri. And then after lunch, I usually do a summary of any of the issues, and then people can re-engage with those issues again. Maybe there's something they felt wasn't explained as well in reo, or maybe they just really want to repeat it again, just to make sure everyone understood fully what was discussed that morning, particularly if it's a really important kaupapa. That's the community that's here. We've been here. The 18th and 19th's been going for around about 155 years or whatever.
Oh.
Every month.
Yeah.
And so we've continued with those. The only month that we sort of really don't, it's not really a done thing to come in is the June month, because that's just for kawemate. It's mainly for kawemate. That's it, puanga.
Yeah.
And the whole thing of acknowledging the mate of the year previously and looking forward to the new year. Yeah.
We'll try and get the vlog out and see if we can bring some of the whānau that watch at home. Speaking of te reo and learning te reo Maori, where can we find you? Because might as well give a bit of a speech. He's my boss.
Yeah. Well, I think the main thing is we're involved with Ātarangi. Ātarangi is a kaupapa of learning reo through immersion. Right from, even if you have absolutely no reo whatsoever, you start with just a single word and you learn to kōrero, which is the big difference, I suppose. If you wanted to learn about language and learn grammar and writing and those sorts of things, there's lots of courses around for that. And in fact, most approaches for learning reo is that way. But learning reo by speaking it gives you the ability to engage in places like coming onto the 18th and 19th, and you can feel comfortable when reo has been spoken. You don't freak out, thinking, oh, what the heck's it going to do? Because you're used to hearing the sounds and they make sense and you're able to distinguish words. So very quickly you develop that ability. So Ātarangi has a number of programs. We have a website that is reo kōrero, reokōrero.com.
Yep.
And that's a place where you can go on and check out what programs are currently available. They're available online, so it's quite amazing. For a long time there, Ātarangi was really reluctant to teach online because it doesn't have that personal connection. But some of the new developments with Zoom and the way in which breakout rooms can be managed so much more easily than they were in the past. So the breakout rooms means you go into exactly the same group every week. You get the same group and you get the same tutor. You get demonstrated within the main group, but then you go into your same group, so you build a real close connection with your group. Really good if you can get 10 mates together, because 10 mates can all learn together and give each other support. But even if you don't know the other people, before long they become your mates.
Yeah.
So you build a connection, and that's what people need to be able to feel confident to kōrero, so that people don't feel like you're being judged.
Yep.
You don't feel like someone's going to laugh at you, or because no one's like that at all. We just are just happy that you're kōrero, that something comes out of your mouth, and the more you kōrero, the faster you learn. In fact, you learn so much, I believe, so much more quickly that way than trying to learn the grammar and then think about it and then try to put it into your head so that you can speak. It takes a lot longer to do that. Right from the very first lesson, you're speaking Māori. In fact, you're fluent, but you're just fluent with those words that you get given. And every week you get more words that you're fluent with, and you can engage in that. But the main thing, I suppose, moving forward, even after the course is finished, you've got to have a group that you can engage with. you got to keep using the reo that you've gained. It's still there. It's in long-term memory. That's the beauty about learning by speaking. It's long-term memory as opposed to learning grammar, which is short-term memory. And so it will still be there in the long term.
Hard out, and I can attest to it. It's an awesome method of learning. I've 2 years, eh? Been 2 years at Mahi.
Oh, I thought it was longer anyway.
Yeah, well, I think it's coming up 3, but it's been about 2 years. Just constantly being around it, and you just kind of pick it up osmosis.
So Rawiri here, he manages all of the online resources, how the resources and how the videos and everything is managed. So when you go on, you get a link where then you have your own space on online, and all of the resources, the activities that help you practice kōrero. That's what Rawiri does. Rawiri manages all of that. He's a bit of a, what do you call it, a MacGyver sort of person who Swiss Army knife that sort of makes things happen with very little, and makes do with the sorts of software that we've got, and we're constantly improving, eh?
Yeah. 100%.
Every year we find out new apps, new ways of, and going forward we're going to provide a lot more videos than we have in the past. We haven't really had the capacity to do the videos in a similar way, in the way that potentially we will in the future. So looking forward to that.
It's a big year on the horizon at the whānau, so make sure to tune in. Check out kōrero.com for all information, and then you might be able to see a little bit more of us outside of this capacity.
Aye.
But shot matua for your kōrero. I think Auntie's got kai ready.
We better go now.
Yeah, so we better go get a kai.
Otherwise we'll get it in the neck. Okay, ka pai.
Ka pai.
I just want blue notes, I just want euros. Smoking on good though, wishing from Pluto. Passing like Saturn, I ring. Paying on my table, there's nothing you bring. I just want blue notes, I just want euros. Smoking on good though, wishing from Pluto. Passing like Saturn, I ring. Paying on my table, there's nothing you bring. I cannot fuck with these records, dripping on and she bad times. Taking her back by her ass, I think she in love with my cash size. Put it hard like bad vibes, been giving out cash flow. Don't get a hobby, counting these racks in my pastime. Got back on me, take a tramp, man with a tragedy. My bitch, you look a masterpiece. I'm in a drill like a cavity. If 12 ask me questions, ain't telling shit. I just don't get to the Benjamin. Spend it, I'm on this on my battery. Charged up, that's your shit. She in my balls like giving it. Grab, you know that I'm getting it. I get this shit, it's evident. Hold on through no office, cheat on me, entree. Talk to the cops like Kanye. Pick out 2,000, no Andre. I just want blue notes, I just want euros. Smoking on good though, wishing from Pluto. Passing like Saturn.
Fuzzy riding the Harley.
Yeah, how'd you go on that?
It's alright. I understand what they say, it's about 10.
Yeah, coming around me on the grass.
Oh yeah. Nah, I wasn't too worried about that, but like, I just can't steer it.
Yeah. Push and
First
pull.
corner, on the freaking pig.
Yeah.
Leaned it too hard.
You definitely swamped it, made it look little.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
6 speed makes all the difference, eh? Yeah. I love the 6 speed now. I didn't even know it was a 6.
Oh, you just stand
Cruising in 5. And I was like, wonder.
To be fair, I
That's
was...
a 6.
Yeah. That's a cruisy day. Yeah, well, how did you find old Tombstone? His shadow.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's always got that bit of a wobble though, eh? Yeah, it does. On the corners, eh? Yeah. I can't figure that out either. My suspension's turned up all the way. Might be the swing arm bearing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the bushings or something, or the bearings, oh yeah. So no more. Bushings, swing arm bushings. I'll just into those.
Yeah, swing arm bushels. Oh well, Rose not home. I don't know where we off to next. Prob's back home. I need to pick up some food for dinner tonight. Maybe steaks and salads. No steak burger on today's mission, but all goods. No, all the bikes animal has. But nah, hope you fellas have all had a good New Year, getting back on the road. I'm not actually sure if this will come out on New Year's Day, or I think it is actually going to come out New Year's Day, so Happy New Year, Tiwi. I think I just realised it. I'll probably try and push for it to be now. If it's not, well, everyone else kind of split out and you won't know any different. But if it is, Happy New Year. Hope you guys celebrated well. Hope you're all staying safe. You spend it with whānau, out camping, enjoying this lovely weather. It's probably not going to stick around much longer, so got to make the most of it, eh? But yeah, if this video does come out, it's just going to come down to whether or not I get it edited on time. Still have to edit Fielding's video. But yeah, the what is it? Time off that I've had is going by way too quick, so I got to keep making the most of it, get out as much as I can and film as much as I can whilst I can, because once Mahi starts back up then we'll be under the pump, as you all know from talking to my uncle or Tā Ruakere just then. I also hope you guys enjoyed that little bit of insight into Parihaka, its significance, and some of the stuff that they have going on at the Pākehā there as they sort of work towards the future. And if you guys are keen to go head out there one day and listen in on the kōrero, or to give a hand out there in the mara, let me know. We'll take a little bit of a contingent out there, one of the 18th, 19th, we'll take a bit of a crew. I'll have to rope Noel, he'll definitely be coming, but yeah, if you're keen, let the whānau, or if you want to connect and meet people out there, let me know, we'll do it. Hopefully you guys have been keeping an eye out on the, what do you call that, the background, the foreground, I don't know. In the far distance there you can see kōrero Taranaki. Yeah, hopefully you guys are taking advantage of seeing him there. It's a rare occasion, he's out full force on a cloudy-ish day like that. Normally the maunga has a bulk load of clouds around him, so enjoy the picture or the film of it while you can. Because yeah, even if you have to go back and re-watch us going into Parihaka, Taranaki maunga is there, proud and staunch, and it's, yeah, I thought it was an awesome view. Definitely for us riding in, watching it firsthand, beautiful.
Navego por su piel, por esa mujer. Voy a ser fiel, voy a ser fiel. Por esa mujer, te juro que voy a ser fiel, voy a ser fiel. Me envicié de su sabor a miel. Envuelto en sentimientos, son puros sentimientos, bebé. No pudimos controlarlo. Envuelto en sentimientos, son puros sentimientos, bebé. Fue puro placer y volver a tocarnos en el sitio donde te encontré. No pudimos.
Alright, quick pit stop in Midhurst. Riding some roads we haven't ridden in a little while. I haven't been down there for ages. That was it Kāpunga? Yeah.
Last time we went down was our ride out, but because we got split up.
Oh, did you go down that way?
Yeah.
Hey?
Dale took us that way. Because we didn't go through often with the cops.
Oh, true.
Yeah, we went the back roads. Yeah. So that was the last time.
Lucky.
They used me straight through the cup. So
Yeah, I don't know when the last time I went that way.
here's all legal.
Yeah, I got a red zone, man. We're alright. It's like even when my brother turned up, I was like, boy, your bike's legit, man. It's just you. But nah, we might get a quick. Maybe this is a thumbnail.
So no more.
Jump in there. Maybe jump this side. On my left, and then I'll get the bikes in shot. Yeah, that's it. Stand here. Just here. Stand just here. Where my fingers. Yeah. That's it. Midhurst was good. Yeah, slightly different vlog today, but I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. About to tuck into this drink and get this ready.
Envuelto en sentimientos, son puros sentimientos. Bebé, como tú no hay otra. Ya no caigo un metal, ya ni tengo que pensarlo. Que me querían drenar, mi corazón sabe recargarlo.
Sorry about that bug there, but I know about coming and watch this. Had no on the left, and then later no far. No, he was too slow on the passing, so I had to go, nah, I'm off later, bro. And yeah, the rest is history.
Te sientes igual, así también.
Let me into my zone. Please don't let me into my zone.
Maybe we'll eat your whānau. Stole the line, nah.
No, we're back home now, whānau. We're back home. That ride is done. Hold on, I need to see where the bro is on the little flip top. Gotta get into shot.
That was a good ride.
That was a mean ride.
brother.
It was crazy just rolling with Uncle Del for a bit.
Yeah, and he was going a good pace too.
Yeah.
He wasn't going too handy, he was mean.
Nah, that's what I noticed when I went out with him the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, it's good to be out cruising with Uncle Del again, because when you're on your own, you kind of just buff it, balls to the wall, especially the Maunga run. We were going pretty quick. We were definitely boogieing that day, and I think everything from up north all the way back, it's just been go.
Yeah. Shit, you.
And haven't really had a chance to just coast and cruise around Taranaki, so that was quite nice actually.
It was awesome.
A little Maunga run. We got some great kōrero about Parihaka and what the future of Parihaka looks like, and the history. Yeah, bro. So shout out to Tā Ruakere for that one. What else did we get up to? Oh, shout out to Auntie as well, Whaleoni, for giving us that kai. It was wicked. It was wicked. We've nothing to complain about there. What else did we do today? It feels like we've actually done quite a lot in that small amount of time. We stopped in Wākura. Yeah, no animal.
Wasn't home. Wretched animal.
Next time, brother, next time. Then we can look at his bikes in his shed. That'll be a cool video.
My shadow the animal, but
and then what do we have coming up? I don't know. Heaps.
What do we got next? Native?
Well, that's in Feb, but before then, Uncle's coming down, Black Hand Design's coming through. So we're meeting him in Aotearoa, and we're riding through to Whangomomona, and then looping back to Waitara from there, and then Uncle will carry on over to the east coast. I think he's going via Taupo or Whanganui, Taupo, east coast, and then back up to Taranaki.
He's got a good ride.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a mish there.
It's a massive move. Cool, though.
And then in Feb, Waitangi Day, heading to Raglan. Hopefully we can stay at the brother Raz's place there in Waikato, and then we head through to Rotorua, Taupo, back to Taranaki, and hopefully stop in and catch up with the brother Ash in Taupo, and ride back with him hopefully to Taranaki. I need to actually message him, and then that would be on the Friday, and then the Saturday we do the natives thing, and then we're still looking to set up that Saturday morning coffees. I've just realised most of my Saturdays coming up through January are actually booked out, so it needs to find a little bit of leeway, or send Noel through. He can go and hang out with all of you fellas. But yeah, lots coming up in this end of summer kind of, eh?
Yeah, when does summer finish?
Feb.
Does it?
Yeah, so December, Jan,
like
Feb.
we've had a summer, man.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
So it's going to go really quick, and you know it's quicker once you start noticing it, but it's also quicker once you start filling it up, and you know.
Yeah. Pretty busy schedule, eh?
Well, not even that. It's just other things pop up at the same time. As you know, we've got what uncles coming down, then we've got the natives, and then I've got the Indian motorcycle rally.
Yeah.
Then I've got a free weekend. Then we've got Te Matatini, or maybe it's the free weekend.
Yeah,
Then,
what are we doing on that weekend?
Te Matatini.
Yeah. Are we going to that or?
Yeah, I'm going. I've got to take some leave and go to Te Matatini.
You got tickets?
No, gotta get some.
You gotta get some.
Gotta get some. Gotta
two.
bring up the whānau and the officers there. eh?
Yeah, you're gonna get
Hit up Tā Ruakere, see what we can do there. But yeah, so we'll do one Te Matatini vlog, just show you guys what Te Matatini is all about, and we'll go for a cruise,
that'll
take
be
some
wicked
back roads through to town, and
It's gonna be packed, whānau. There's gonna
Yeah.
be heaps of people in Taranaki.
that's the same week as Americana, so
Yeah.
you might get a 2-for-1 that week whānau. We might do a Wednesday drop, and then we might do our regular Friday during that month. So that's something to look forward to. The end of Feb, and then in March we've got a week off, and then Taranaki anniversary, we're heading up to Whangare.
We got some big rides.
Yeah, we got a lot filling up really quickly.
Feels like we just came back from there too.
Yeah, yeah, and then you know, who knows what else pops up, and if you guys have anything that you want us to attend,
Yeah, that'll be cool too. Let us know.
let us know. Just either jump in the Discord, let us know on Discord, then we've got plenty of time to remember that and
Yeah.
sort that out, or if you have to and you don't quite know how Discord works, just drop it down below in the YouTube comments, and one of us two will see it. Otherwise, got anything to say? It's
Thank the audience, really.
yeah, you guys' support's just been amazing.
It's been awesome. Like, people just hit me up randomly and just saying how cool your videos are and
Our
the way you're
videos.
making it. Nah, they're his videos.
Our
I'm just
videos,
a part
man.
of it.
Nah,
He's
they're
the man
ours.
at the editing.
They're our videos.
Yeah, nah. Congratulations to you too, my bro.
Nah, shop for being part of it. It's
Really
awesome.
look at you. Keep it up.
One other thing, what was I gonna say? One more week, I think. One more week. I'm gonna drop this the week after Fielding's video, so one
When's
more
that one
week.
coming out? Next week.
Yeah.
Building one,
Yeah, next week. Well,
And
last
then-
week.
So when you drop this one, is that our prize? Nah. What was it the week after?
It's the week after, I think.
Okay.
It's the week after, because Fielding next week, then this week. Oh, hell. It's drawn today. Yeah, so we'll draw it in this video
Ooh.
before it drops. Just the fact that we've recorded this prior, or no, maybe I dropped this on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So Happy New Year.
Yeah.
We're just, man, I don't plan when these drop.
It's going with the flow, whānau.
Yeah, so-
going with the flow.
Fielding will drop on Friday. This is going to drop on New Year's Day. So Happy New Year's.
Yes.
E te whānau.
Happy New Year's, whānau. Be safe.
No
Drink
mai te
responsibly.
tauhou Pākehā. Welcome in the new year. Obviously the Mauri New Year is Matariki, Puanga. We'll cover that once we get to Matariki, Puanga. But yeah, welcome, Happy New Year, I guess. I'll just drop it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Keep some content. It's the holidays. We'll go for another ride before then and now.
People at home, they probably want to watch some more Wrenched Throttle.
Exactly. So, you've got another week. So we'll draw it, not this Friday, but next Friday. We'll draw and announce on the 5:30 PM video. It'll all be recorded. We might go live if I can figure that out. The logistics of it, that is, not how to go live, just the logistics of going there and organising the random wheel, and we'll send out the portai and the baseball jersey. We'll announce the winners, and we'll have an email address for you guys to contact us on, so that we know it is actually you.
What did Ash win at the one?
I think you won top prize
You did, eh?
or third prize.
Ash, if you win the jersey, man, can I have it? Nah, good luck, everybody. I hope. I'm just looking forward to the winner. Whoever it is, I'm excited for you to win.
Yeah, he's not. He wants it,
Yeah.
but he can't enter because he's part of the channel. So it is what it is. Hey, if someone else starts a channel and then they do comps,
I'm in. I'm in.
No, but thank you all so much, whānau. It's been an amazing 2024. I'm looking forward to 2025. We're starting it off with a bang. You guys get a video on the Wednesday, then on Friday you get another one. Don't get used to this though. It's not a regular thing. It's just because the holidays on. I should be stockpiling these so we're a few weeks in advance, but I kind of like just being week to week, so then I don't get confused as to what videos have dropped and what haven't. I need to get a calendar. Next year, after this one goes up, any videos that we bulk up, we just got to mark down when it's getting released on the calendar.
I was thinking about it on the way.
Yeah. So you guys just get to see all the behind the scenes of what we actually try to talk about to get this thing smoothly. We do have stickers coming in the new year. This year sometime, I don't know when they get here. They're busy, we're busy. It just comes when it comes, and when it does, drop your thoughts and whatever in the comments, and we can try and send some out. We'll give away, I don't know, pack of like, we'll give away 10 people stickers once they come in. First 10 to comment on the video. It's going to be difficult. We'll just have to go 1, 2, 3 when they come in, when we get the comments. So that whatever Friday they come in, me and the bro will sit in the comments from 5:30 p.m. and just whoever comments, then we'll start. Once we get to 10, then we'll say,
I'm not allowed on that one either.
Well, he'll get a sticker anyway. It'll go on the other side. I don't even know where I'll put mine, probably on my helmet. But yeah, that's enough yapping. We've had lots of kōrero on today's episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed this style of editing. It's going to be slightly different to how I normally do it, but it is what it is. I had a great time talking to Tā Ruakere about Parihaka, and about, you know, the future of where Parihaka is going. So that was awesome insight. And if you ever get a chance, do stop in and show some love to the people of Parihaka.
It does look way awesome now, bro.
Yeah, and they got all their construction that's going on, and they're trying to increase the capacity of the park.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
it's all in here. You'll tune in. Make sure to listen to that. As always, at the whānau. Or do you have any last words before I close out?
Nah. Go hard fun. Have fun on New Year's.
Easy as.
Easy as.
As always, at the iwi. Ride safe, get home safe, spread love and peace, and we'll see you on the next one. Sure.